Hi, I'm Pantazi. Today I wanted to discuss a pressure point called stomach 5. You can take a look at stomach 6 as well because it's on the same nerve. If you look at a pressure point chart, you'll see that there are these little spaces that you could insert a needle for pinpoint accuracy, but it's really not needed when you're using Kyusho in a Marshall aspect. And let's take a look why, but before we do, let's take a look at a couple more of these charts. We can see that, if we go back to this one here, you can see that some of the numbering is off on these. You have stomach 5 right under the corner of the eye or right in front of the masseter muscle here, and whereas we, wrong picture, whereas we had it like way in front here. So the charts are going to be a little bit off on their depictions. They always have been. In fact, Japanese and Chinese charts are different in a number of different aspects, so which one do you actually follow? So we take a look at the points. One is on the muscle, one is ahead of the muscle, and you can see where this lays on the jaw for the stomach 6. So let's keep taking a look. We can see that there's a line. This is what's called the meridian, and you can see how the meridian flows all the way through, and you can see the stomach 5 here, stomach 6 in here. Okay, let's take a look again at this angle. Again, stomach 5, stomach 6. You can see the depiction right in through here, and how it runs down into the stomach meridian all the way through. When you're doing, acupuncture, if you're looking at the pressure point charts and you see there's like gallbladder 14, 15, or 13, 14, 15, and this V here, and they're using acupuncture in many different spaces in betwixt and between, then there's no real point that you're after. Okay, you see that there's nowhere near that number of spaces or pressure points in reality. So why are they using those? We take a look at some of these acupuncture treatments, and they are not on the specific points because there's far too many needles, as we can see, instead of points. So when you take a look at these, you can tell that there's something amiss. But, with the healing, it's all well and good. They have thousands of years of experience with it, and, it seems to work for them, so let them continue. But for the Marshall aspects, let's take a look at a little bit more reality here. Okay, we see the nerve here. You see the masseter muscle right in here. You see the facial nerve that comes right along the baseline. Let's get rid of these muscles for a second. And we take a look here, and we can see this nerve traces all the way down. Now, this is not the mental nerve. This is a facial nerve, okay? And this is where people get a little confused, too. They see the mental nerve right down and through here, and let's zoom in on this a little bit. Okay, mental nerve exits here, and it's not part of the facial nerve at all. Let's go, sorry about that, folks. Let's turn this up here just a little bit. Okay, we can start to see that the mental nerve emerges, but if we take a look underneath, the mental nerve is actually a branch of the trigeminal nerve right in through here and exits at a little hole in the side of the jaw. Okay, this is the facial nerve that runs all the way across the chin. You see this coming down in through here and up, and this would be the facial nerve. So you have stomach 5 right about here. Now, you see where the nerve is, okay, and where you see the depictions of the pressure points is somewhere down and through here and somewhere up and through here high on the jaw, but yet we see this nerve is a little lower than the jaw, this nerve is a little higher. So again, it's not the pressure points we're attacking, it's these nerves, okay, and we can see how they wrap around and they follow through. This side looks a little bit better if we want to take a look at this stomach 5 area. All right, Let's get rid of these veins too. Okay, we can see it a little bit better and how it's like right on the outside of the jaw, and you have inside, you have the mental nerve coming here, the facial nerve right in through here. So that's the real stomach 5. So when you're taking a look at these, you really need to take a look and see, the anatomy that you're using and what we're working on, as opposed to what we think we're working on with the pressure points. All right. So again, now, if you're taking a look at this nerve and you want to strike it, as example, let's get rid of this muscle again. We want to strike this nerve. Let's turn this guy around. It has a better view on this side, it seems. Okay, so we got this major facial nerve here that we can strike. Okay, and you have the other nerves underneath. Now, when we take a look at this, you can see that the nerves here are exiting in certain places, and you could actually tag this nerve anywhere along this jawline. You can even hit this one. You can hit this one. So they're not pressure points. You have stomach 7 that's supposedly way up in here. Someone could claim it's this nerve, but it's a little closer to here when you see the depictions on the pressure point charts. So you have the this nerve here. Now you can strike this nerve and get a great effect all the way along. We all know that this right here works great. We can slam here. Now the only difficulty is when you get under muscle tissue, like here, where most people tend to hit when they're trying to access mental nerve, which is way down here. All right, let's take a look. Let's get this muscle away for a second. You'll see the mental nerve is right down and through here. Put the muscle back on. So it's real hard to see underneath that muscle, and why you have to tag that mental nerve just a little bit better. Some people also hit a little bit higher and get a result, and they wonder why. Well, it's the facial nerve. Now you have the pressure point down here, but why can we strike up here and get the same result? Why can we strike here and get the same result? It's because you're hitting nerves. That's what Kyusho is, hitting the nerves. Now again, if you have a muscle group like this, or say this band of muscle right in through here, all you need to do is hit just a little bit harder to get through that muscle on these two sections right in here. Now if you have it up and through here where you see the nerve is a little bit more superficial, it's over the top of the muscle, then you're going to have to hit that a little harder, because what you want to do is you want to compress it against the jawbone itself. Now this part of the skull is just not the best part. Let's take a look here. Maybe we can get a little bit more solid jaw here. Yeah, there we go. And let's add the nerves. Let's take out we'll take out the lungs. We don't need the lungs. We don't need the blood. Don't need that, and don't need the blood systems. Okay, so when we put the nerves in, you can start to see these nerves and the way they lie, how it comes high up and through here, and why this is such a powerful area to attack. But again, you have it all the way through. Now, right in through here, let's add some muscle to this. Okay, so we've got the protection here. You have to hit harder. Here, when you're striking these nerves right in through here, you have the muscle underneath, which is like a pillow or a buffer zone. So you have a little play in there. So again, you have to hit those a little bit harder, so you jam it against the bone and cause the pinch and shock. And you also have to strike it to send the message back toward the core. You don't want to strike these straight into the jaw, because you have a muted type of effect. Yeah, it can make the person a little dizzy, but if you want to drop them, you have to send the energy back toward the brain. Let's put these back here again. So we want to get it toward this little plexus of nerve, and then going right to the core of the brain. So all this area in the face you can hit, and all this hitting into the face, you want to get it going back into the core for the best result. So again, that's the stomach 5 and also the stomach 6, but you see it's the same nerve, and you can target this entire nerve right here. Well, these as well. But that's what you want to take a look at. You need to know real anatomy. Now let's take a look at something else too. We have the small intestine 18, and everybody thinks it's right up underneath this bone, and it really isn't. You see underneath it, it's not even close to that area here. Okay, what we need to do, let's get a little muscle on this for a second here. You can see it's even protected right up and through here. But what you need to do with this is you have to bring your fingertips, your knuckles, whatever you're going to use against this nerve, and you have to push that nerve all the way up so you can press it against this bone. So that's why they put their fingers into the hollow pocket and they miss the nerve a little bit, because there's really nothing up in there. You can see how far away that nerve is away from the skull. You have to actually pinch this nerve up against this bone to compress it to get that shock. And when you compress it, you can go straight up and that gives a good shock, but if you can press it up against the bone and press it down back, so you send the energy back down into the core of the nerve and back to the plexus here, you'll get a much better result. So again, these are your targets. You want to jam this one way up to here, okay? And you want to make sure that you're getting these nerves. So let's get rid of this and let's get rid of that as well. Okay, so we see these nerves, the way you can strike them against the bone and how you can tag them and how you can get those plexuses. Alright, so that's a little bit of real anatomy, folks. And when you're taking a look at this compared to the pressure point charts, they just don't equate. Okay, you want to get rid of these old charts. They're not helping you understand the Kyusho, even though that looks really funky and anatomical. It's really not giving you too much information. Instead, what you need to do is get yourself a good anatomy book and start really looking at these structures here and really understanding what's going on. So you're affecting the real Kyusho, you're affecting the mark using the blood vessels of the body as well. So that's a little bit of a topic I just wanted to cover on stomach 6, stomach 5, and even small intestine 18 for you. Okay, and you can start to see that the realities are, it is an acupuncture for Kyusho. It's knowing the anatomy of the body, and the more you know the anatomy, the better effects you're going to get, because you're going to start understanding the directions of the trajectories you need to send that message neurologically to the brain and get the better effect. So there's just a little blurb on the facial nerves, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some worth out of it. Please subscribe to the channel. I've got some more of these coming up, along with stories about the blood attacks. Also, they'll be coming out in Budo magazines, on the blog, and on the Steven account as well. So keep tuned in. We'll keep teaching you about the Kyusho, and we'll keep looking and investigating the human anatomy, and teach you exactly what the old masters wrote about in their books. They didn't write about stomach 5. They didn't write about stomach 6. They wrote about nerves and the neurological and physiological effects on the functioning of the human body. Thanks again for listening. Please subscribe. This is Pantazi.